Welcome back to Story Baggers. Today we will be reading chapter 13. On with the story. It is a universal law that, no matter how dangerous the business in which you are involved, no matter how high the stakes, sooner or later boredom will set in. In Bobble's case, it was always going to be sooner rather than later. Never mind that they were on a mission to save Haven and to defeat the forces of darkness. Never mind that the future of stories in the Red World depended, in part, on them. Bobble was bored. He and Vesper were hanging out in the scrubby bushes at the end of Pycross Lane, as they had been for the last 7 nights. They had seen and done nothing of interest. Nothing. Not a thing. Not one. Except on Tuesday, when Vesper had developed a spectacular attack of hiccups on account of bolting down his tea too quickly. No masked bats had arrived, they had seen no story sparks of any kind, and there had been no sign of Boo or any of the other vampire bats. Bobble rocked himself crossly and sulked. Another night nearly over, and here we sit. 12 silent landings, and what was, you have to admit, a fairly impressive medium-length stealth glide over the meadow, and still nothing to show for it. Flippin' stories! How can we guard them if they won't show themselves? Vesper sighed gloomily.
I know. Might as well be in the back of the classroom, for all the good we're doing out here.
So we're supposed to just hang around and wait? That's it? Patience is a game played slowly, boys. Bobble's impression of Dr. Komori was quite good, and Vesper snorted in appreciation. I mean, it's hardly the stuff of legend, is it? No one's going to talk about our glorious adventures in hushed whispers years from now, like they do the others, are they? Who do they talk about in hushed whispers? The new third voice sounded genuinely interested, and horribly near. Bobble and Vesper, who had both leapt in terror at the same moment, now clung on for dear life, as the slender branch from which they were suspended sprang wildly up and down. It was only when it slowed a little that their vision cleared sufficiently for them to make out the dark figure hunched deeper inside the scrub than they were. There was no telling how long it had been there. Must say, boys, you could have found a bush with less prickles, eh? Been dying to scratch all night. And with that, the shadowy figure stretched out its cramped wings, relieved the itch on its backside with a sigh of relief, and grinned. It was a masked bat. It was Bobble who found the words first. Bendy? I mean, Great Uncle Bendigo. It is you! You're here! You've come! I knew you would. Vesper! This is Uncle Bendigo. I said he'd come, didn't I? Vesper's claws were already doing a little tap dance of excitement on the spot, shaking the branch again.
Gotha! I'm very pleased to meet you. Bobble's told me all about your adventures, and your travelling and everything.
Bendy, for it was he, raised a glossy eyebrow in amusement. Has he now? Well, I hope not everything. A bat should be allowed some secrets after all. Bobble, my boy, it's good to see you again. I haven't been back to the valley since you were a baby. You wouldn't remember me, I don't suppose. I've been watching you for a while, and I can see that old Komori's training is paying off. Not much wobbling going on now, is there? Bobble flushed with pleasure. I've really been putting in a lot of flying hours. Well, me and the rest of the class have, actually. Then his brain caught up with the moment, and registered what Bendy had just said. How long did you say you've been watching us? A few hours. Bobble did a frantic rewind back through his and Vesper's conversations as they had been hanging idly in the bush. Nothing too embarrassing, thank Haven. A couple of grumbles about whether Dr. Komori should sit in this bush for hours on end and just see how he would like it. Some extravagant belching, but nothing too incriminating. You must be really good at this stealth stuff. Bendy shrugged. The muscles in his shoulders rippled like the backs of sea creatures beneath the surface of dark water, smooth, and with a suggestion of a lot more underneath. I've had a bit of practice. What do you say we take a little time off surveillance work to get a snackerel, eh? I'm starving. Vesper beamed.
I just know I'm going to get along with him, Bobble. He's my sort of hero.
Bobble goggled as Bendigo shot straight up into the clean night air, his sleek wings silhouetted briefly against the silver moon. Vesper, I think he's everyone's sort of hero. As it turned out, Bobble could not have said a truer word. After politely declining Alfred and Minty's invitation to stay with them in the crabapple, I'm a solitary fellow, Minty. You wouldn't want an old bachelor like me cluttering the branch up. Uncle Bendigo took to roosting in a cooking apple tree at the limit of the orchard. But even so, The stream of visitors to the crabapple never stopped once word got out that Bendy was back. Some ladies who were, quite frankly, old enough to know better got all giddy and swoopy when they came to call on Bobble's mum. "Stuff and nonsense," she declared to Bobble and his dad. "That's all there is to say about that. No point batting their lashes at Bendigo. He's got no more thought of settling down now than he ever did." And she flapped about, pretending that everything was far too much bother, while secretly enjoying the flurry of activity that accompanied their visitor. Bobble showed his uncle the collection of postcards that he had kept over the years, and he and Vesper peppered the masked bat with questions about the last war with the vampires, a subject on which Bendy was surprisingly reluctant to be drawn. Bendigo's reunion with Dr. Komori had been warm but restrained, a brief wrapping of wings around each other and a small clap on the shoulder. When Dr. Komori updated him on recent events, the eyes behind the mask hardened, but Bendigo declined the invitation to teach the AA's any new tricks, preferring instead to hang out at the top of the old oak, scanning the skies above the heights as if waiting for a storm. It was all a bit disappointing. In tomorrow's Storybaggers, the vampires are coming. Till then, stay safe everyone, stay inside, and good night.